Okay, sorting out country pages is actually quite simple. Whenever the new story is published for some country, it should go here and to be top story for that country. The story that was here previously should go here, which we call top story 2, and story from this page should go here, which is a position we call top story 3. The story from this position should go on the side. These are the positions that we call feature boxes right. Okay, so for the Albania, at some cases you will have more than one story tagged on page position Albania top story, Albania home top story. You look for the stories like this. Okay, click on Content Manager, go to Published Articles, open Filters, filter by page position, choose Albania top story, and filter all the stories that are at this page position. Currently we have 3 stories here. This is the latest one. They are always actually in the order as they have been published. So this was the latest one, this was published before that one, and this was published before that one. You can also check the timeline of publishing stories by choosing section and choosing the country you want to see, Albania in this. And when you filter stories like this, it will give you in the stories in the order in which they have been published. So, what do we do now? First, this story will remain on top as it was the latest one to be published. We'll put this story on page position Albania top story 2. You'll add the tag page position Albania top story 2, and you will delete this tag by clicking on this button. When you have done so, just click Save and Close. This story will go on page position 3. Actually, no, sorry. We will put this story on feature box right as it is published before this one. This one will go on page position Albania top story 3. So we'll do the same, remove top story tag, put tag Albania feature box right. As feature box rights have this like um, category in front of the headline, this is actually the subtitle field. So in subtitle field you have to type in a category in which your article is. Those 4 categories should be different, should have different subtitles. So regarding that, we already have, we can put the news tag, but then it means we'll have to change the tag here. But let's go and see how it will look like. So I'll save this. Now I will go to Albania Top Story 2, filter like that, put this story, which is the older story, on page position Albania top story 3. I will remove Albania top story 2 tag and save and close. And now I will go to Albania top story 3, filter it. Now we have 2 stories in this position, and I will remove this one to feature box right. Never remove stories from some position before you actually add the story to that position, because it will leave like basically a hole here. So we can't have subtitle news because we already have it. We put it in on the news we just tagged for this position. So we'll put, for example, social unrest or education, maybe better, it's shorter. So Albania feature box, right? Same close. And from page position Albania feature box, right, you have to remove the extra stories because you have added 2 stories to that position, which means that, oh sorry, that some stories remained underneath. Meanwhile, I'm opening always several windows because when you get used on this tagging thing, I'm doing it simultaneously. Basically, I'm sorting different positions at the same time, so that's why I'm doing it this way. You can of course use the one window. Um, so basically, you will because there are 4 news that can fit on this position. You will remove the last 2 because they are the oldest one. Okay. So basically, this is the we are almost done here. Let's refresh the page and see. So you see the story that was underneath this one is here, and the story that was here is now on page position 3. The story that was here is actually on this side. Now, as you can see, you have 2 news subtitles here, which is not good. All the subtitles should be different, as I said. So basically, we're going to change one. And for example, we can change this one. The phrase that we often use, either for, of course, the best news of those 4, for the best news of these 4, the one that we most like is the story we call editor choice in subtitle. Okay, the last tag you should put for country pages is the tag page position Albania top story related, which will put stories here. So basically, you should find the stories in this section of your country, the stories that can be connected or are connected to the story at which is at top story. So in this case, because basically it says German backs pro into Macedonia bloodshed, it's the story connected to Kumanovo stories. So we can, for example, here find the stories that are about Kumanovo by filtering it with section Albania and Macedonia. Um, there are none tagged like this, but let's go again. Okay, we can put this one. As this one is related to the event, and you just type in a tag Albania top story related. It's there. Save and close. After it's closed, I'll show you how it looks like on the page. Okay, let's see. So refresh. I'm hoping that the system is working. Okay, and it's here. There should be three stories at top story related field. If you don't have three stories that are connected basically very closely like this one, because this story includes Albania, you can also put stories, for example, on this. You can also put other stories on Kumanovo. Um, and and the process is basically the same. Just find a story in the system by using different filters. You can use categories, you can use people, countries, subcategories. For example, you can use social unrest, category, section Macedonia, and it will probably give you some story from Kumanov. Yeah. So, and that's basically it. After you have put all these tags, you have sorted out your country page. Additionally, when you're changing, every time that you're changing top story, you should change related stories, of course. So that's basically it. Hope it's clear.